Bakersfield was a community once known for its wondrous music scene, with talented performers such as Buck Owens, Marley Hagrid, and of course, Korn. But what was once a vibrant community has now become a city of death, in more ways than one. When the bombs fell on October 23rd, 2077, Bakersfield most affluent residents fled into the sewers, making their way into Vault 12, what they believed would be their safe haven to wait out the apocalypse. But when the vault door was supposed to close, it simply didn't. At least not all the way. While initially assumed to be a malfunction, in reality, this vault was intentionally planted in the vault system to allow radiation to flood inside of what was supposed to be a shelter, letting the vault's creators study the effects of mass exposure on the human form. This insidious experiment was executed without a hitch, with the residents of Vault 12 being overcome with the ionizing rays of the Chinese warheads. Unaware that this was all part of a grand experiment, the residents of Bakersfield, who were not initially allowed into the vault, forced their way in, expecting to be saved from the ongoing catastrophe. They were not. Most died slow, agonizing deaths as radiation poisoning took hold. A select few, however, would find themselves transformed into ghouls, shambling zombie-like creatures covered in rotting flesh. In 2083, 6 years after the war, the residents of the vault finally ventured forth from their failed shelter into whatever remained of their once great city, with only the most irradiated glowing ones staying behind. They would found the new city of Necropolis, where Bakersfield once stood. Initially led by the Vault Tech assigned overseer of the vault, they were quickly overthrown by Set, a self-centered and ruthless ruler. For 70 years, Set would rule unopposed, his new biological immortality allowing him to mold the necropolis over decades, silencing dissenters in order to keep his iron grip around the city firm. Most humans would be barred from entering the city, with only those from trading caravans such as the Crimson Caravan allowed to enter for a short time. Set's position as King of the Dead would be covertly deposed in 2157, when the Master of the Super Mutants learned the location of Vault 12. Wishing to obtain unirradiated humans to turn into super mutants, the Master would invade Necropolis, only to discover Vault 12's terrible fate. Not willing to have this excursion be for nothing, the super mutants enslaved many of the town's residents, giving them a forced labor force to man their vats of the forced evolutionary virus at the Mariposa military base. In order to ensure Set and the ghouls would not become a threat to the Master's plans, a garrison of mutants would be placed in Necropolis' watershed, allowing it to fall into disrepair, forcing the ghouls to rely on the vault's water chip for something to drink. For the next 5 years, the super mutants would continue to enforce their authority over Necropolis. It wouldn't be until February of 2162 when a traveler known as the Vault Dweller came to Necropolis seeking Vault 12's water chip that they would be deposed. Not willing to leave the ghouls without a water source, the Vault Dweller and his companions stormed the watershed, confronting the mutants Harry, Barry, Terry, Larry,
Gary,
and Sally. While the Vault Dweller's oldest companion, Ian, would not survive the encounter, felled by the super mutants' flamers. Ultimately, the traveler's party would be victorious. The Vault Dweller would repair the water pump, allowing for the water chip to be safely extracted, saving the Dweller's home of Vault 13. Necropolis's troubles were not over, however. The following month, in retribution for the death of his mutants, the Master would order Necropolis be razed. Mutants would flood the city, killing every single ghoul they could find. Some would escape, helping to establish mutant-friendly communities like Broken Hills or Gecko, but the first mutant city in the West had been destroyed. Rumors tell of a ghoul named Cain who, enraged by Necropolis' destruction, demanded entry into the Brotherhood of Steel, helping fight the remnants of the Unity in Texas. But given the Brotherhood's stance on mutants, these claims are dubious at best. Regardless, after the mutant attack, Bakersfield was left abandoned for a second time, leaving behind a truly dead city.